Greetings and salutations. It's a 1:44 p.m. to the 144,000 chosen out here on Earth surface, and greetings to my 200,000 in Earth Central Agartha. I just recorded a tiny little message on my iPhone, but it had to cut when I said that I never really had parents, and because I just meant that, like, literally I was calling my parents by their first names since forever. I never had the mom and dad thing going on until as I spoke to Collier this morning, whom we had to reiterate that I am a highly conscious being and that they have internal issues with the police, given the fact that you got the Cristal Cordoba, Christina Pushkina, and Carol Habushi playing fake cops that, just take liberties to walk into spaces and tase me to, like, rob my phone in public, as well as my, like, rings or whatever they want, like journals, wherever I am. And then, like, say the bar manager is from Ohio, which is, like, also the, Cleveland, Ohio, the ego size of Cleveland. It's where Ego Mind was constructed. However, is why now I understand why Collier office tell me that Amber's my friend, because she stands against the cruelty of Christine, Carol, and Cristal, who are foreign terror brides that are here on terrorist mission to diverge America from God, in consciousness levels, because now currently, whoever you deem to be God, Biden, Stephen Jared Thompson, just didn't really let me on my other device really say that was like a little, on the left side guidance. This morning I just, got myself to go strawberry, like, flamboyant fire of God, just to, like, spritz up the energies here. And, like, the left side, I have further plans to, I was gonna literally go either, dark, or we'll see, just for a little effect of a spritz up, because it seems nobody likes me blonde, and that is, like, so absurd. So, I had to do a session for the police today at Collier number and deprogram them, because when they come to me, whichever cop they send that day from the brigade are knocking at the door of heaven. Whoever comes my way is what they're doing, whether they like to acknowledge it or not, whether they want to call me my maiden name or, my Archaea name. And then by the time we arrive to Buford, they go, now that is shut down. Ha ha. And I go, what are you talking about? And then I go, are you working for the fake me to get there? Like, yeah, we are. So by the fact that the cops know that it is completely inhumane and anti-constitutional and anti-American to have some fraud, terror, power, fake, bimbos from another nation walk into, like, Wild Wings and tase me after they've asked the bartender to, like, put certain poisons in my drink. And hey, if I don't leave the bar with one of the guys at the bar that they, like, special program to come sit next to me and stuff their face, then I must be forsaken by them, who are the ones who are programming God to be their subservient little monkey loser, that instead of walking proudly by my side every day I went on mission 50 states, I spoke to every American pixel parcel under the sun, instead of going therein with me to every mansion and speaking, he was hiding behind in a, like, van or, like, car with an afro from, like, Costa Rica, another one from Italy, and a third one from Russia, sucking his dick, ejaculating in their mouth, and then they would spread shit about me. Oh, she's in there giving a fellatio, she's in there getting fucked for $77.77 an hour, and we have proof because they just made a bank transfer, and we asked the Latino guy in there to take a picture of her in this position, so we have proof to prove that not only is she this, she's that, she's this, this, she said. And then God's like, and he's like ejaculating sperm in their mouths, like in rotation, you know, like, oh my God, if I go to Dollar General and I buy soda, Carol's gonna get her fix. Yes! If I go to Harris Teeter, Cordoba's gonna get her fix. Yes! If I go to like, oh my God, Christine thinks that now I'm robbing her and I'm willing to make a compromise. Like, this is really wrong, and the police know it. So the Collier office is literally, they're fed up. Like, they don't want this bullshit, you know, these federal frauds between Crystal, Christine, and Carol entering places. And then, you know, they send me off with the Ohio, like salvation guy. And then, you know, Jermaine and Amber, like meaning you, which is what the session kid tell me, because everybody in this equation has mental problems now, and nobody's being able to access the higher dimensions to even get their own Christ-conscious 144,000 chosen name, because America's all so focused about which rotational whore is gonna suck off our God that we so trust today. Oh. And then like the people from like California that call me that know that, hey, they're the Ramada Inn or whatever hotel, Hampton Inn is right around the corner. They can get a like, you know, $100 ticket and get a $70 room and just chill with me and give me some like hypes and spirits. But no, you know, then they'll rise up the price ticket to $700 and the hotel room to $1 billion, you know, just because like they want to whatever, keep this going and whatnot, you know, which is fine because like I'm very divine anyways. And even the people from Cali that were to come were like, we understand, we won't even touch you, we just want to hug you, say hello. You know, at some point the like people in Cali that still had my California number were like, what are they doing to you? We're going to come in cars with guns. Like, people are literally worried. Like, this is not a very good situation. So thank you so much for like international prayers from the Vatican onward, because God is a pastor now that is like, literally he swears by sin. And, you know, if I go legalize, you know, they don't want me to post because then they're like, oh my God, that is Leo fire. You know, I'm the fire God, which means like, you know, normally in the scripts, Uriel is my twin, and I guess that might be the Russell person. So that will probably be a foreign, you know, like umbrella leadership situation. I'm not very sure. However, you know, I can't like speak ahead of myself now. I don't know how my, you know, Godfather and Godson, like the actual real trilogy going on now. That's why none of your plans are working. Like, no matter how many people, like, because first I told me that Cordoba, you know, made a pass on him. Like, you know, he's like, one of your friends hit on me. So obviously every time like he purchases food, if I'm consuming it, like not only are they doing Stephen, they also go and they provide for Forsyth, whom I had to remove like horns from his back due to the amount of betrayal, you know, because it gathers poisons in their body. And now you also, the younger cops and everyone, he's on a contract healing the island. Now you all also, you know, without your own knowledge, have participated in this terrorist, like a complete overtake of the United States. Because every time I emailed, like any cop from Hollywood onward, all I would ever get is nothing. Meaning they would just like laugh because they're all being also, you know, proliferated these bimbo whores that also go fuck those cops at that station and bribe them, you know. So it's being an antichrist satanic rule, which I had to call the Collier office and tell them about. And I also mentioned how, you know, in town hall they had said okay to legalizing weed for medicinal purposes. And now, you know, it's like taken as like, you know, no, because like apparently Stephen became a pastor or whatever. You know, and I don't really know what they're, however, you know, as the pristine, pure person that I was growing up, like I was completely against like, you know, weed or anything, like even, you know, and I wanted to stay virgin until I meet my Prince Charming and I marry him and it's forever after and no treachery. Like I was always living in this perfection of a world. And, you know, I wasn't really, you know, understanding while David and I were fasting, and I was reading all the books from Gabriel Cousins to Natalie Rose to David Avocado Wolf and all that comes in between with the, new age just teachings of going raw, organic, puritarian, and like 90% was my quotient, and we had like a fistful of organic red beef at most, like per week, or whatever, organic chicken or fish, but mostly we were puritarian and organic and whatever. But he still did some cheating, and he was, I don't really know, I kind of believe he might still be alive. I don't really know anymore, because I know you all lie to me all the time. So in terms of Dave, I mean, the whole thing was, once people come here, it is in order to deprogram them from everything they've ever known thus far, and then provide them with the new creation teachings, which David saw through me right away. I mean, David was incredible in terms of, deciphering. He knew day one. He's like, who are you? Why are you here? Because he knew Dima Tabrawi is just my daddy given name for the papers, but he knew I have a divine mission, and he knew I was here for a purpose. And I was able to tell him I'm Aurora, here to unite heaven and earth, because he was not my beloved. This information was supposed to come on, after we walk down the aisle, Shazam, boom, and then we come out as the transformed. That was given to me back in Kuwait by, Karen Bishop, J. Walter Thompson, but that all failed, and, now this is what it is. And there's like a rotational going on, and I'm supposed to like be so chill with it, and I'm supposed to like be the one that, I have to accept God sinning against me, and he makes pretend that it's my fault, which I don't know how that even might be. And the problem is he's not taking an accountability for his actions or asking me for redemption, because he still has an ego that thinks that he's God and I have to, which I do nonsensically anyway. It's called the Ho'oponopono. I'm 100% responsible. Thank you. I love you. Please forgive me, which is why I actually staged my own going to BCDC to free all the inmates, not because